Hello viewers, welcome to another edition of Behind the News coming from the stables of The Nation Online TV. Today is the 12th day in the month of March and it is a beautiful day. I will be your host for today. My name is Ayooluwa Ayobami. However, I am not here alone in the studio as I have with me my delectable, amazing, super, sharp, astute, thoughtful, realistic analyst.
Oh, this your
Mr. Abimbola.
Yeah, I'm not going to blow the ass with you. Mr.
Abimbola, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Very fine, thank you. So this is Behind the News, where we analyze and dissect few of the stories from few of the national dailies that we have in the studios. In the studio today, I have few of our national dailies. I have The Nation newspaper, I have New Telegraph, I have The Punch newspaper, I have This Day newspaper, and I also have Nigerian Tribune and Vanguard newspaper in the studio. We are going to be going through the headlines on the front page of these national dailies before we begin to analyze few of the stories. And I'm going to start with our very own, talking about the widest circulating newspaper, The Nation newspaper. And the major story on the front page is Tinubu to Fubara, comply fully with Supreme Court verdict. The other stories that made the cover page of The Nation newspaper includes gas tanker fire under Otedola Bridge causes gridlock. NIMET predicts intense heat in 19 states. Natasha reports Senate to Inter-Parliamentary Union. ECOWAS activates 5,000 strong standby forces. Also over to New Telegraph. Shetima, Nigeria now on new growth trajectory. Naira devaluation wipes out 2.06 trillion from capital markets. Rivers crisis, adhere to rule of law, Tinubu tells Fubara others. ECOWAS defense chiefs pledges support for sub-regional government. Federal government begins probe of senior NCOS officers for corruption. Oando secures strategic foothold in Caribbean with Guarakara refinery. Former Minister of State Foreign Affairs Dubem Oyiya passes away at 73. Why contractors don't sell jobs again in Delta, Anyagu. Lagos, fire rocks Otedola Bridge as loaded tanker explodes. Trump orders 50% tariffs on Canadian steel, aluminium. 26 die in KB from suspected outbreak of meningitis. Halt increase in ATM transaction charges, reps tell CBN. Senate orders INEC to conduct by-election to fill Uba Akpabio's seat. Nigeria's life expectancy at 54 years below global average, reports. And over to the Punch newspaper. Natasha takes face-off with Senate to United Nations. Killing spree, anger over headers deadly attack in Ondo, Benue, Nasarawa, 30 killed. ECOWAS defense chiefs activate standby force, rule Niger, Mali and Burkina Faso. Marketers project 800 naira per litre as imported petrol's cost drops. 5 billion naira vehicle purchase deepens Obasa Miranda feud. Tinubu meets Niger Delta leaders. Fubara plans meeting with pro-Wike lawmakers. And over to Nigeria Tribune. ECOWAS activates standby force to fight terrorism. Supreme Court upholds Aiyedatiwa's victory, dismisses Ajayi's case. Rivers crisis. Tinubu wants court rulings respected. Protest rocks Ondo over abduction of another 9 surveyors. Osun local government crisis. APP files contempt proceedings against APC local government chairman. Block all pornographic websites in Nigeria, reps tell NCC. 68 million poor Nigerians captured in National Social Register. U.S. mission Nigeria reaffirms robust relationship with EFCC. And over to Vanguard newspaper. Oando selected as preferred bidder for Guarakara refinery in Trinidad and Tobago. And the major story on Vanguard front page, Rivers, cancel Fubara, Tinubu tells Niger Delta leaders. Anger as herdsmen, bandits kill 42 in Benue, Nasarawa and Ondo. Suspend hike in ATM transaction charges, reps tell CBN. Diphtheria at King's College, Lagos government begins vaccination. 2026 World Cup qualifiers race, Chile drops Musa, Iheanacho, Okoye for Rwanda and Zimbabwe. And finally, this day newspaper. Lokpobiri, the regulation of downstream oil sector benefiting Nigerians. Tinubu urges adherence to rule of law, asks Fubara to stoop to conquer. Hope rises for truce as Ukraine agrees to US-led ceasefire. NSITF presents 25 million naira compensation to National Assembly staff. Federal government begins construction of second Niger Bridge bypasses. And these are the headlines that made the front page of the national dailies that we have in the news.
There was a discussion on one of those headlines.
Okay.
The Odo case, I don't know what newspaper was it, claiming that the Supreme Court that endorsed Ayobami. That's not true. The party went to court to question the candidacy, the validity of the candidacy. And what the Supreme Court said was that since they were not party members of the APC, they had no locus to be questioning their choice of candidacy. So it had nothing to do. It was a pre-election case. So that's a very embarrassing misstatement by that headline.
That was from Nigerian Tribune.
So it suggests that the case is still in court, in the tribunal.
Okay.
It has not gone to the Supreme. It has even not gone to the Court of Appeal.
Court of Appeal.
No, talk of the Supreme Court. I don't even see the governorship gets to the Supreme Court now. Oh, no, it does. Yeah.
Okay, so that should be
That's misleading.
The headline.
Yeah.
It's from Nigerian Tribune. The story is from Nigerian Tribune. However, let us quickly dive into the stories that we want to analyze for the day, and we trust Mr. Abimbola's astute, in-depth knowledge to analyze these particular stories. And let us start with, let us take it from Tinubu to Fubara, comply fully with Supreme Court verdict. Let me read through the headlines that the Nation newspaper has. The lead story rather. Governor Siminalayi Fubara must comply fully and immediately with the judgment of the Supreme Court to keep the peace in Rivers State, the president declared yesterday. According to him, the nation is governed by the rule of law without which there will be no order or governance. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu spoke during a meeting with the delegation of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, at Aso Villa. Speaking specifically on the request by the group for intervention in the political logjam, the president put the issue directly on the lap of Fubara. Mr. Abimbola, can you just give us an insight into, a brief insight into the political logjam in Rivers State?
Well, before I even go to the matter, there is this case of the tortoise in Yoruba folklore. He said he was going on a journey, and they asked him, "When will you come back?" He said, "I won't come back until I'm disgraced." That's the story of Fubara. When Tinubu tells them, "Go back and settle," what the man was not saying was that we had a template. When the whole thing started, both Wike and Fubara, they went to Abuja. They were going to impeach him.
Yes.
Because of they use this, mass aluta, mass mobilization and of injuries and all that. So they frustrated it. I'm not saying that the impeachment was right or wrong. I'm just painting what happened. So when that thing broke out, both of them they went to Abuja and they sit at a round table. And what was decided was that, look, you take this, you lose some, you win some. And Fubara was, okay, you've appointed some commissioners, you've done this, you've done that. You don't go and represent your budget to the legit assembly. Along the line, the majority they are threatened. In fact, they declared that they are moved to APC. But there was no formal evidence that they moved. So this man just took the emotives of the movement. He just took the declaration as an element of fact, legal fact, and said that they had moved. I said we were going to do with a minority. There are a house of 32. I think one of them died or something. The former speaker, out of that settlement, the former speaker is the present chief of staff for Fubara now, because he lost the speakership. Okay, let me even go back to when we were going to be impeached. The speaker, their speaker, I think that's his name.
Okay, is the president or is Amaro?
No, is it the speaker that is here? Well, I can't remember, but he was the original speaker. Because he was in the minority, he started with the governor. Because of that, they impeached him, they removed him, so that why we free him to impeach the governor. Eventually, the impeachment did not come to pass. So the president asked, okay, everybody should call their loss. You go back, you represented the budget, go and represent it to the majority of the people. Now, the former speaker was told to resign and was given another job by the chief of staff to the governor. So it's not the governor's chief of staff. The point I'm making was that the president said, go and represent your budget. Fubara did not. He now claimed that because these guys are defected. Now, if they are defected, you leave the thing to the court. You can't be a judge, the accuser, and judge your own case. It's not natural. So the man started doing all the rascality and all that. 223, 224, he presented the budget to a non-existent assembly. And I remember, he presented the budget under 3 hours, it was passed. How can that be a budget now? He did the same thing, 2004, for 2025. And he wasn't going to continue. So the president was saying that you go back and settle your case at home. It was just referencing the original agreement. And the irony is that the people that was the body that went to the president, Pandev. Yeah, Pandev, president or chairman was the late Chief Henry Clark.
Yes.
Now, when the president was trying to resolve this problem, he was one playing a joke, tribalism and nationalism and all that rascality or whatever. And they were misleading Fubara not to go along with the peace process. Say they were cheating him and this and that. If they said they were cheating Fubara, were they there when Fubara and Wike were doing the deal to make him governor? Most of these guys were there. Even Clark himself was not from Rivers, he was from Delta. He was just baptized because he was the chief, was the head of the Ijo leader nationwide and all that. And anything, that they want to, anything, the German was being cheated. Was being cheated. They even made the claim that the Ijaws were the majority in the world. That's not true. The Ikoris are in the majority. Go and cross-check. So, all of them, what did the Bible say about everybody has sinned and falling short of the glory of God? All of them, elders will be falling short of the glory of God. The so-called youth that be, they not beyond the so-called zombie that will just, the Roman pleb that they just tell them to go to that direction, they go without thinking. As long as don't chill, go and sit down. These people deserve something better. They didn't pay for political warlords to be battling for side, They pay for good governance. And the governor should know that he cannot rule solo. That's not democracy. And to bury himself, he went to pull down the State House of Assembly. Then he put the four legislators. During the Obasanjo, when the Obasanjo was misbehaving, they will call it single minority. Single minority of 4 out of 32. And you claim yourself, you are passing a budget. The guy should wake up. And I'm sure the Supreme Court gave it to him hot. He said that he was going to conform. He was going to conform. He's been saying that for days now. They have not conformed. So the guy should wake up. The game is off. If he doesn't take his time, the way he's going, they are going to impeach him. And heaven should not fall. Because he had already dug his own grave. He just wanted to be buried for put himself there. they put dust on him. It's a very serious situation. But I hope he realizes the dangerous state he is, caused by nobody but himself. But that's Fubara said. Wike himself has not shown any special, do I say, leader, maturity. Even though I could understand where Wike was coming from. Look, if you are somebody's, if you are benevolent to somebody, that guy should not reward you with treachery. That is what we do respect to the government. That is what the government has done. All these guys who are shouting at, they were not there. When Wike suppressed everybody and insisted that Ayobami would be governor of Rivers for the first time. I think the last time Ayobami was governor of Rivers was, ironically, he was one of the people that went, was a Navy captain then, the 85th. It's a monarch now. He was one of the pandemic people that went to the, if you look at the pictures in our paper, so so that was the last time an Ijaw person was
governor.
But so I think they should go back and tell themselves some more truth. Fubara should swallow the humble pie, do the right thing. Wike should be magnanimous in victory. Nobody likes all this, all this battle they are waging. It's useless to everybody. But more importantly, Fubara should know that if he starts into democracy, you can't be picking and choosing. You have to follow the rule. That's what the president is saying, and I support the president 200%.
Fubara has to. So you are saying Fubara has to comply with the rule of law, because I think I saw a story last week after Fubara said he was going to comply with the directives of the Supreme Court fully. Then I saw the story where the House of Assembly, the validated one by the court, where they requested him to represent his budget within 48 hours. And only for me to see, I think a few hours later or a day after, then the state government, so to say, they didn't get a formal letter from the House of Assembly, so they were not going to. But I just, don't you think that this matter is just a matter that should have been played more maturely than it is now?
There is mutual maturity on both sides. That so-called deadline was absolutely unnecessary. It was just triumphalism. We won. We are going to push it. We are going to useless government. We are going to humiliate him. No, it's not good. It doesn't work that way. The House of Assembly is a House of Honor. It's expected that there are, what do they call it? There are ways to be that there are all this word now. There are ways to behave. That there are protocols, and the protocols demand that you act reasonably. You don't act rashly. Then you act with enough introspection. You don't just feel that you act before you think. With all due respect to the House, I thought they acted before you thought it out. And that was why there was an impasse. Because if they had done the thing the right way, look, Supreme Court had just given the judgment. The media were reporting it. The media report the side they want to report. But that doesn't give you the whole comprehensive window into the judgment. So somebody has not seen the certified true judgment, and you are telling him to go and do this 48 hours. That was rash. They shouldn't have done that. Although you could say that they felt that this guy had he had robbed them enough. For instance, he has seized their allowances for salaries and all that, which absolutely he had no right to do. The guy is not an emperor, for God's sake. He's just a governor. And what you call it, the governors have enormous powers, I concede. But those powers are not absolute. They are subject to the checks and balances of the other laws in the land. Now to just say I'm governor and I'm going to rob it the other one, that's this guy's. But like I said, the House should not have done that. And I think they are, they say 48 hours now. Nothing has happened in 48 hours.
48 hours.
The heavens have not fallen. The governor is still there. So if they move, because of that, I want to repeat the governor. You guys are crazy. They are going to lose the poll. No, you have to be very cold and calculative, and make sure that you're acting in a good faith. It's not Mala Friday. You act bona fide, not Mala Friday. Good faith. And that's what is not is happening in both. But I think they are learning the lesson. Pandef have gone to Aso Rock now. All those Ijo nationalists and redentists who feel that Ijo must be right, others are wrong, they are seeing the cool side of it now. And I think they'll go back to tell themselves. But what I do want to see is the state government being disrupted more than it has already been. Yesterday, the government himself was reacting that the money is spent on critical infrastructure and all that, they were spending on legal. You can trust lawyers. What did he just say? He said lawyers will not make everything. So lawyers will take your money whichever side, and that's what it's happening. And I'm happy the governor is realizing it, and I wish that we just change tack and give peace a chance. And as he does that, I don't want the other side to humiliate him. It's still the governor. Even if you don't respect this person, respect the institution of government. Because not even the institution, the office of the governor is an institution greater than whatever individual that is a temporary occupier of that office. Should respect the governor of River State. It's an honorable platform which should not be run by anybody. And I think that's my passing message to the guy. But I hope they will listen. Because River's politics is peculiar.
I hope they will listen for me. Because they need to respect, if they will not respect Fubara, they should respect the governor of River State. They should respect the office. And because you made mention of something while speaking earlier, you said the House of Assembly is an honorable institution and things should be done tactically and diplomatically. They should not take any harsh decision or rush into this. That should take us into the story of the National Assembly. Let us go to the story of the National Assembly about the suspended Kogi Central lawmaker Natasha Akpabio and the Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Okay, Natasha Akpabio. Okay, yes, and the Senate President Godswill Akpabio. There were a lot of build-up stories since I think late February 20, if I could recall very well, when our seat was changed. Then there were a lot of build-up up until the suspended lawmaker was suspended on the 6th of March. She was suspended with some attachment, like some warnings, so to say, in place, like her orderlies were removed. She was not to be found around the premises of the National Assembly. She was not to address or introduce herself as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria within or outside the shores of Nigeria. I recall vividly that a day after that verdict was passed on the suspended lawmaker, that same day, she went on her social media handle claiming that she was still a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And now up until yesterday, we saw Natasha at the United Nations Inter-Parliamentary Union, where she went to present, or to, should we say she went to report the Nigerian Senate to, because it seemed like she went there to report the Nigerian Senate to an international body. She claimed she was being suspended because she alleged the Senate President of sexual harassment. Whereas they were, okay, let's start from, was the suspended lawmaker, should she have, or was she right to have gone to an international body, to have taken a situation or a story, an issue from the Nigerian Senate to an international body?
I don't think she was right to have done that. But again, when you slap a child, you can't dictate how the child will cry, or or yelp, or scream, or bow. You cannot. So I give it to her that she has a right to cry whichever way she likes, so long as she doesn't put herself deeper into trouble. But look at it from a critical or logical point of view. I don't think it was right for her to have gone abroad. But let's even put that aside. She went to the IPU what she told them there were a tissue of lies. Number one, she was not suspended because of the alleged sexual assault. She was suspended because she was accused of not following the Senate rules. And we all saw the whole thing play out on television. It's not then say people saw it. So that was the evidence. So for she to go and to an international body to be saying that she was suspended because of sexual harassment, and be saying that she wanted them to come and support people in Nigeria, I think that should have been infradig for a senator. And I feel that anybody elected to the Senate, even the electorate, should look at the level of maturity. Because this one has shown a scandalous lack of immaturity, a sort of combative refusal to follow the rules. Like I said, look, if you want to push your right, everybody has rights within Nigeria and as a Nigerian citizen. The moment you are employed by the nation, there are house rules in the nation. When you enter that establishment, you conform by the rules of that house. When you get outside, if you feel that the rules are too stifling, you resign and go outside. You can exercise your unfettered freedom. But as long as you are inside, you conform. The same thing with the Senate. To now go back to go abroad and be telling lies. I know what you first said was that look, she didn't come to the place
to embarrass
Nigeria, so that she came to the place because that was the only place you could have come on. We were just playing to the gallery. And when the thing broke out, people tried to malign her. People say she had her first child at Nigeria. I said, so what? At 19, you are an adult by Nigerian law.
Yes.
By every law in the world, you are an adult. And she had 3 children, 4 children. They can't even there's so unanimity on that. She had 3 children, 4 children, 5 children, 6, by 6 different men. I said, what the heck? She may have 20 children by 20 men. That's her life.
Yeah.
What has that got to do with the allegation that she was sexually abused? So I was disinterested, in the thing. But looking at this thing now, going abroad to go and be saying, telling lies, knowing that she was willfully disinforming. And what this is not misinformation. When you say misinformation, you are spreading a message. You could be honest, innocently spreading a wrong message. But this one is disinformation, deliberately spread of a wrong message. I think that should be infrared for a senator. And I'm looking at the case again. The alleged sexual harassment took place in 2023. Now, why now? People will say, okay, why not now? Okay, why not now? But why was it that when they changed her seat, and she couldn't have her way, and she involved herself in the shouting back with the standing president, who kept himself to his own honor and glory, kept himself. He didn't involve in this shouting match with that. She will sit down, she will tell her to pipe down, she will sit down, and later she will spring up again, start telling. No, that was not good enough. So if something happened in 2023, they should not tell her husband. And from the report, they said she didn't even tell her husband that the thing happened.
I was going to go to that.
So a lot of questions along the line. Well, I'm not there. Like somebody said on CBC this morning, among Natasha, Akpabio, and God, only God knows who is telling the truth. But if you follow the logically the case, there are some O's. Then going abroad to go and they call it appeal to pity, argumentum. I think it's misericordia. Argumentum ad misericordia. That's appeal to pity. She went there. She was just stacking her cards. and how they are oppressing women in Nigeria. She came to fight for women and all that. They all just crying. And if you look at that picture, if you can relate it to what she did, when she claimed that former Kogi governor Ayobami sexually harassed her because she was running for governor. You could see the same crying theater, in the weeping theater over there and now. And I said, look, is this woman put an act or something like that? So after seeing the IPU show, I had cause to be really suspecting, really a motive by all the. But let's see, what we are talking about, is the subject of 2 court cases. Yeah. She has sued the Akpabios for 10 billion naira.
10
billion naira.
Is it 10 billion? 1.1 billion.
10 billion naira.
Akpabio.
Is it 1 point? No. Is it 10 billion? No. Is it 1 billion?
Okay, it was the issue of VDM and Mesichio that is one.
It's 10 billion.
There are a lot of legal cases in Nigeria.
It's 10 billion naira. Then Akpabio's wife has gone to 25 billion.
Yes.
So it's still, so that one is that's what they call it, sub judice. It's in court. We cannot comment on it. But I feel that as time goes on, the facts will come out. But as far as I know, my instincts are very logical. It's not just emotional. Since somebody is playing games somewhere, and in the nick of time we know he's playing games, and the result of playing games. But so far, she has not placed women in a state, in an envious state in Nigerian setting, in my opinion.
I was when I even saw the act where she was crying, I felt like she didn't cry inside the aeroplane. I mean, why wait until she got there before she started crying? But that being on the lighter mood, how would you have reacted if you were, with all due respect, but how would you have reacted as a husband? And because she said her husband was not aware, he asked her. She said it herself that he asked after the incident, what happened? What was the Senate president telling you? Why did your woman? And she said she told him nothing. So why would the husband be hearing about something as huge as that on live TV?
Well, maybe because they are family friends. Maybe because he didn't want to rupture the relationship between the husband and his friend. Akpabio was among people who went to Dubai, like we say in Yoruba, when they were taking her as wife. So maybe no, but there's some we told you before to have there's some female cunning in this thing that I suspect that somebody might be playing a game. I know when you talk of sexual harassment, I know the senator is what do I call it? She's criminally beautiful. She's so beautiful you will turn your head and say if you are not a man. She's that beautiful. So. And I know people cannot really handle beauty. So, but when you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are sexually harass you, I want to definitely be proved to be for the one of
okay.
And she even paid some punitive money for that. Then you start wondering if these are not just red herring to get what she feel that she should get, and right being denied that. She just told it, but I don't know, but me, I have my big suspicion about the thing.
Let me say, because I want to be sure I'm not the only one having this kind of this particular thinking, because why have to, I feel like she was just trying to push a particular narrative, having to like involve the feminine gender of Nigeria in her issue, because I felt the issue was between yourself and the Senate president. Why go abroad and start saying, okay, this is a case of what is happening to the female gender in Nigeria? Is it for self-pity, or so she could be, they could take a matter more serious?
Well, if she was expecting them to take the matter more seriously, then she had failed. After that, I was playing to the gallery, and shamefully so. That was playing to the gallery. Whatever problem she had with the Senate or Akpabio had nothing to do with the female gender in Nigeria. Therefore, there are 3 other women
Yes.
in the Senate. The Akpabio woman from Rivers, Arun Lagos West Senator, and Mrs.
Kingigbe.
Senator Ireti. None of them have said that anybody sexually harassed them. Of course, you could say that none of them is as beautiful as Senator Natasha. But you just feel to expand your matter as a universal free matter is playing to the gallery, and you should look at some motive that it might not. It doesn't appear to be pure. That motive. That's my honest. When I saw the thing this morning, I just dismissed the thing that this drama gone too far.
I also saw it last night and I was like...
But like I said, if she felt that it was going to add to her case, she has failed, because those guys have told her we are going to hear from the other side.
Both party.
So,
because what was the business?
And the other side will tell them that she wasn't suspended for the alleged sexual assault.
Yes.
She was suspended for A, B, C, and the documents are there to back it up.
Because I just feel she was being like over emotional, or just wanting a side of the story to be accepted forcefully by every. She just wants to push her narrative on. I just feel personally that she wants to push her narrative on everybody forcefully, because there is no, I'm not sure there's any correlation with the female gender with what is happening between herself and other female. Even Senator Ireti came out to say she never told any of them all this thing that happened until they just started hearing it from a live TV.
The thing started in 2023. What would she say? When did she enter the Senate? So was she even in the Senate then? Because she was, she got her ticket. She was declared to have lost the election.
She was a court-breaking senator, according to Akpabio.
Because the other guy's election was nullified.
Yes, was nullified.
So anyway, we saw a pass, but to me, I think it's just a feminist game. I hope that lands her somewhere she likes.
But do you think her actions going to the Inter-Parliamentary Union in New York, do you think it has an adverse effect on the image of Nigeria?
Of course it does. It does. It paints Nigeria as a chauvinistic, useless band of men who willy-nilly lord it over the women. Yeah, some guys are chauvinistic, no doubt. Some guys hate women. What was that word again? Haters of women. I can't remember the word now. Yeah, Nigeria has its own fair share of chauvinists. But I don't think it's right to just bandy the general tar brush and paint everybody as chauvinists, as humanitarian, because of an alleged abuse which has not even been proven.
Yes.
I think that was going too far. That was rascality. Feminist rascality taken too far. And I think, like I said, let's see where it lands. Because I was a proviso in the thing that, look, if she apologizes to the Senate, they may just, cut down the number and pardon her.
The duration.
There was another copy that cannot suspend somebody more than 2 weeks or so. That means, but every case is specific. It depends on the facts that before the judge that but the way she's going, she's closing any avenue of pardon or whatever, reconciliation and all that. And even if she won the case, she's still going back to that commune. And how will she function peacefully with her colleagues, with that sort of bad blood? And that's immaturity. With all due respect to her, I see in all of this. So it's not good enough.
Before we leave the issue of herself and Senator Akpabio, do you think the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, is handling the issue like very well or more maturely?
Well, it depends. If you look at the brickbat, he was very dignified. He didn't. He really was. He held back, which I expect. I refer to women. They have their moods, and when the woman goes into the mood, you don't want to go there because you are not going to win. So Akpabio handled the thing at that stage. But some people are saying that she could have recused herself and all that and all that. But when it gets to tabling the matter, Remember, she was supposed to table a memo, a petition that she was sexually abused, allegedly.
Yes.
And she wanted to sign the thing. And it's scandalous that a member doesn't know the house who says that you cannot sign your own
petition.
Eventually, she has corrected that after the nullity of the first petition. So she has submitted a fresh petition now, signed by somebody else. Let's see when the thing matures, when the jungle matures, and it gets to the right place. Let's see if Akpabio will recuse himself and say, prove between. But until then, we keep our fingers crossed.
That probably will be when she's being reinstated from her suspension.
You never know.
And that's if she even responds to the Senate committee.
But she has sworn not to apologize to anybody. She didn't write. And we'll see what happens.
Let's just see the way everything will play out eventually.
Yeah.
Let's just see way everything will play out eventually. Before we go, there is a headline that I would really just want you to speak on briefly from the New Telegraph. The headline says, block all pornographic sites nationwide. Reps tells NCC. Let me run through the lead. The House of Representatives yesterday urged the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, to direct internet service providers, ISPs, operating in the country to immediately block all websites hosting obscene and pornographic content nationwide. The call was made following the adoption of a motion titled Need to Block Internet Websites Hosting Pornographic Content and Sanction Defaulting Internet Service Providers, moved by Dalhatu Tafoki, a lawmaker from Kano. Do you think this is a nice move, and how do you think this would affect? Because let's say it would affect, I don't want to say it would affect, because I want to ask how or if it would affect the youth of Nigeria.
I don't know if it will affect anybody, but I don't know pornography is neither here nor there. Everybody does it. If you are a prude, you are shy that you are not looking at it. If you are not conformist, but everybody is very guarded when they are watching pornography. So it's a reality that is there. Well, if you are a Puritan and you feel that it's creating some moral danger, entitled to democracy, you're entitled to your views. But then the same democracy to give people the right to access whatever they feel is beneficial to them. Moralists should be very happy with this. They have a right to their views. The liberalists will just say it's a non-issue. And me, I just I allowed to myself to that. I don't think it's serious. There are more serious things to be talking about than that. But then maybe I'm wrong. Maybe another moral will take on my head that this guy is one of those one who survived pornography in private. Me, but I'm just a realist. It is what it is. Go and take a census or a study. People enjoy their pornography. But you see, what you don't do is make it to excess of something. Anything is bad. But I don't think the house should be. Well, they have a right. A Puritan has a right to his or her views. I'm not disputing that. But they should not rule that the Libertarians too, who want to express themselves in their own way, so that we are not hurting anybody. When you hurt a third party, that's a problem. But if just like this, in America they are talking of marijuana as a lifetime drug, as a drug that you can use for health purposes. Marijuana, is Igbo. When you are smoking Igbo, you are beyond redemption. There is a moral something to it. But then other few people feel that they have some health issues, so they are doing some legislation to allow the use of it in a moderate way. The Twitter will never listen to that. But then that's the world. So the Libertarian will say, why not? Let's so live and let live. But one thing is, don't allow it to make the life of the other person more miserable, or the guy is morally lost. And if you don't do it like that, I really don't see any big deal about it. That's one opinion. I can be wrong.
But if don't you think that if there is no sort of restriction placed on this pornographic content or pornographic websites, so to say, don't you think it will affect, because there are cases of minors that should not be engaged or watching such kind of content?
That's a parental thing. Look, there's a market for this thing. People who go and do pornographic films know it's a career in itself. People go and act the same. They're just like the normal actors and all that. That's how, and it's $1 billion business. So if there's no market, there will not be that industry. So that industry is there. You can't will it away economically. If you will it away, you are willing away, you are cancelling the life, the livelihood of millions of others all over the world. You might not like what they are doing, but they are feeding from it, and that's what they are doing. So this is a multi-dimensional thing. It's not just a moral thing. It's an economic thing. It's a social thing. It's a health thing. So there are so many ramifications of it. So you can't just sit down and say you are willing this. The industry is there. As to your question about limitation, well, I'm not opposed to maybe limiting the exposure of minors. But again, that's more of the duty of the parents. The government cannot legislate that now. The National Assembly cannot impose that on people. It's you that will shepherd your family the direction they want them to go. Put them in the right values and this thing. But when you start dictating over people's sexual choices or what they expose themselves to, you are becoming big brother. Big brother is watching you. It's never going to succeed. That's my own opinion. I'm very stark about it.
So let us just because I really want to be careful with that subject matter. Just like you said, the moralist can defend the fact that like, because according to even the lawmaker that moved the motion, he claimed that Nigeria is a religious country, and all the religion that have been practiced in Nigeria are against nudity and obscene images or videos, so to say. So let's just see how. But
blue film is supposed to be watched in private. You don't go and put a big cinema and start putting it's not. So when you talk of obscenity to who? Is it your idol to your privacy, or couple who are using the thing to normalize their their marriage and all that? There are so many things, there are intricate things there. Can't just go and force a moral view and say every other thing is nonsense. That's not democracy. That's dictatorship, moral dictatorship, and in as much as the moralists will say they are on their high ground, I'm not an immoral person. Again, I know your right stops where other people's right starts. And libertarians have a right to put their worldview. That's it.
So eventually, everything boils down to parental guidance
and moderation on part of everybody.
Yes, and moderation on the part of everybody.
You are not going to see somewhere and start saying that you are going to force people to do your bidding. It's not going to happen. Forget it.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Abimbola. It was really a nice analysis. We really have to go now. Our viewers can testify to the fact, and they can actually confirm all the adjectives I used on the area, because I mean the analysis was one of top notch. And we hope to keep getting more of this week in, week out. Thank you so much, Mr. Abimbola.
Thank you.
From what you said, the House of Assembly is a honorable institution. Both the states houses of assembly and the National Assembly also. Whatever is being done there should be done with more technicality, more diplomacy, and to project the nation in a good light to the public space. We hope Nigeria will be better, but the change has to begin from each and every one of us. Thank you so much, Mr. Abimbola. I remain Ayooluwa Ayobami. Until next time when I shall come your screen again. Bye for now.